Members, the question is the motion be agreed. The Honourable Rod Caddies.
Now, I'm just going to make a very short contribution on the motion, not because I agree with the outcome that I think that the honourable member is looking to get with the Vedicare. I'm not sure whether I'm in favour of that, considering you know, the amount of things we can't afford for humans. But why I sort of think I'll speak positively about it is because it is good to investigate a bit more in what we could be doing better. And, you know, we've just heard the honourable member speak about already the government is doing things, contributing finances to the care of animals. So there is good things happening, but that doesn't stop us. I think a committee, as much as I don't think we should send everything to committee, there are reasons outlined here on you know, something that the honourable member thinks could make WA a better place for a lot of people. Now, look, in a perfect world, we would all love to have universal pet care, but that's really just not possible. Everyone doesn't have that sort of, you know, money, and we don't as a state, as was mentioned by the minister then, that where would all this money come from to sort of fund all these things? We can't all afford it ourselves, so someone still has to pay for it. So now, I've mentioned in the House before, I used to be involved in rodeos, so you know, and I've been around animals all my life, so I've seen many times people that just haven't been able to afford the vet care needed, you know, not just through the rodeo scene, but through, you know, families out with animals in the country and that just haven't been able to afford their vet bills. I've experienced it in the past myself with massive vet bills, and you've had to make decisions on whether you're going to spend all them thousands of dollars on an animal, you know, when you've got money to, well, not enough money to sort of do the things you need to in your general everyday life. Now, so yeah, I understand why the honourable members moved this motion. We all, like I have dogs and genuinely care about them. And other animals, lots of horses and all sorts of things. So I'm also a big fan of our native wildlife in Australia. I mean, there's so many beautiful animals that we have here, and there's constantly, I see always on social media about different native animals that are needing care, and people are wondering how they actually get that care for them animals, who's paying for that, and from what I sort of see, it ends up either being a small group of people trying to scrounge to get that money, or it ends up on the lap of veterinarians who have to then try to squeeze out more time and volunteer their time to help these animals. So, I mean, sending it to committee to have a look at that, to see if there is some way to help that, the people that are caring for wildlife, could be a good thing. I mean, I'm particularly fond of things like the wedge-tailed eagle, and that's part of the reason, you know, birds, wedge-tailed eagles, it's a lovely animal here. That's part of my reason I oppose the wind farms, and that from studies I've seen that it does, you know, injure a lot of birds. So that's just one thing that, you know, so yeah, back to the motion anyway. We could have a inquiry into what the honourable member's motion is today, and not even have to agree with the actual Vedicare, like I said in the beginning, but the fact that there is, I was speaking to the honourable member to my right here about, you know, being a vet and that, and brought up that stuff about how does it go with volunteering that, and he's experienced it himself about having to decide how much of his time he can give up when already being a veterinarian doesn't make huge dollars. So you're having to be the one contributing that. Yeah, so anyway, I mean, and also something else in this bill that I just wanted to mention, and the reason I'm standing up to speak in favour of it is I've been around things like the riding for the disabled. I've worked in some aged care places, early volunteering, you know, through churches and stuff, and you see there's some seniors where animals are their best friend, they're their partner, they're their everything to them. It's not like it's just a pet to them. Well, it's not a pet to everyone. Some people do fully see it like family, like my wife sees our pets a lot more as family than I do. But yeah, these seniors I used to work with, their pet was part of their family. It was like, especially when they lose a partner or something, it really showed me that it was their only company. And yet they couldn't afford often to, you know, they battled to feed them properly because they're on low incomes, and they were battling with rents and stuff like that. And they were battling to feed themselves, let alone their dogs, and then if they got injured. So, you know, that part of it where seniors, if maybe this, you know, committee found that there is a way that, you know, there's money made available to help, you know, it obviously has to qualify, but these people with pets that can't afford it, but it's their life, if, you know, that could come out of that committee. And then there's the riding for the disabled, the mental health issues that I already see, they get quite a bit of money donated and that, but that's a classic example of where I've seen over many years. My wife worked for them for 15 years, starting off as a young girl, leading them around as, I think she was like 7 years old or something, 8 years old, leading around horses for the riding for the disabled. She worked her way up to where she then became a coach for riding the disabled, and then become a manager of a riding for the disabled centre, and then was managing 2 centres. So over them years I experienced a lot and seen the mental health benefits that young people with disabilities and mental health issues were getting from animals. It really does have a positive impact. So I've seen that positive effect. So that's another reason I'm speaking favourably of it going to committee today, because I've seen the benefits of if there's money there. Like I said, not every riding for the disabled, and I think they're called something different now, manpower and that, horsepower, sorry. Some of them do get quite a considerable, decent amount of contributions and donations, so they're able to operate well, whereas others don't. And so I think it'd be a great thing, for the committee to be able to come back and say, is there a way that we can find some funding for whichever parts of these we're talking about, not anything in specific, because like I said, I myself find it hard to imagine that we're going to be able to find enough money to fund a Veticare program, but possibly, you know, the government might go, right, we can free up some money here in a different area to contribute to that. So anyway, I was going to speak a lot more, but basically I just thought I would make that short contribution to say that One Nation will be supporting it going to committee. So thank you.